Welcome back to Rouse Rising. I'm Katie, and in today's video I am meal prepping dinner, muffins, all kinds of goodness. So this is a cook with me, mom of 5 video for meal prep inspiration. If you are looking for ideas for how to make delicious meals for your family, we are mostly gluten-free now. I still do make bread for the kids on occasion, but most of our meals that I share are gluten-free because I have celiacs, and so that is the road that we are on now. Sadly, I miss my sourdough. I'm gonna get there though. I'm gonna attempt to make gluten-free sourdough eventually, so click subscribe, stay tuned for that adventure. Right now we're just dipping our toes into converting some of my tried and true recipes on this channel to gluten-free. So you may have seen a similar muffin recipe as this one. If you go to my channel and you search muffins, or if you search banana bread, it will bring up a whole list of recipes. Also, you can go to my recipes playlist and my meal prep playlist if you need more ideas for how to feed your family nourishing meals made from scratch with a lot of love. Thanks for joining me today. Let's dive into this video. New pan trial from RedChef. No, I didn't pick out the colors. I'm just going to get them washed up and we'll make our accent. The lid has a silicone rim around it. Got a pup.
Wow, that's beautiful, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh. That's really cool.
Right. Nope, I've got to wash these up. This video is sponsored by RedChef, and they sent over these beautiful ceramic pans that are non-stick and non-toxic. They also come with a removable handle that is very sturdy to lift the pans with. But if you are in a tight space, let's say you need camping supplies, you need camping pans, or if you are living in an RV, or you just have a really small kitchen and you don't have a space to store your pans with handles, this is a great alternative because it comes with a removable handle that you can use on all 3 of the pans. So this set came with a large skillet pan, a medium-sized skillet pan, and it came with a sauce pot, and the handle fits on all 3 of those. These pans have a non-stick surface that you can cook foods in over a medium temperature on your stove top, and your food is not going to stick to the pan. If you've ever tried cooking scrambled eggs in any kind of pan that has a sticky surface, you know it can be a nightmare. But check out how this bamboo spatula just moves these eggs around the pan so beautifully with the non-stick surface. If you are looking for something that's easier to care for than cast iron, these ceramic coated pans are a great alternative. You can find them linked down below in this video's description. It's early in the morning, and I've decided that I want to go ahead and get dinner prepped as well. So we had some breakfast, we had some eggs, got the kids happy and satisfied. So we're going to go right in here and we're going to cook up all of our dinner so that we can just reheat and eat for the next 2 days. We're getting ready to go on a family camping trip, and I have got to make my life a little bit easier by having nourishing food right here on the fly for my family while I'm preparing for this camping trip. Now, you've seen in all of my previous videos, my meal prep videos, I've been making lots of muffins, lots of sheet pancakes, banana breads, things like that, because I am freezing those for this particular camping trip. We've got a Yeti cooler, and I'm going to freeze the milk and a bunch of foods, the quiches that I've made, all sorts of things, and we're going to load the Yeti cooler up with a bunch of frozen food, and that is going to stay cold for our whole 5 days that we're going to be camping. We're not even going to need to add ice to this cooler. It's going to be amazing. My trick is you put some frozen milk in there, you put some frozen juice in there, and you pre-chill your cooler by putting ice in it the day or two before and letting it get nice and cold, or you can put frozen juices and milks in there the days before to pre-chill it, and your cooler stays cool. It's so nice. So that's why I'm prepping this beautiful dinner right now. We're going to roast up some potatoes, we're going to be roasting up some carrots, and we're going to be roasting up some chicken. This is my go-to sheet pan meal prep for an easy meal, and you can really double, triple your ingredients so that you can have food in the fridge to eat for dinner for the next couple of nights in a row or for lunches. And that way it takes one less thing off of your list of things to do in a given day. Your meals are already prepped and you can enjoy time with your family. Time with your family is so precious. So if you can double or triple your meals when you make a meal, when you cook, that is going to free you up another time. And then it's not so daunting that you're cooking from scratch. I know when I get in a pinch for time and I don't have anything pre-prepared or I don't have a meal planned out, we tend to reach for those frozen pizzas. Those are our go-to when time is a crunch or when we're exhausted parents. That's what we grab. But for the rest of the time, we really try to feed our kids nourishing whole foods that we make from scratch at home. So that's why I'm prepping up this big bag of potatoes. These are just some red potatoes that I got from the store, and I am throwing some olive oil on them, a little bit of poultry seasoning, salt, pepper. You can use whatever kinds of herbs and spices you want. It's whatever your family enjoys, but all you have to do is pop these in the oven at 400 degrees. You can go anywhere from 375 to about 400 degrees for 25 minutes-ish. You just want to watch your vegetables. I know everybody's oven is different, so if I give you an exact time for me, those roasted vegetables might either come out burnt or way underdone. So it's something that I've had to learn with every oven that I've had, and I've probably had 6 ovens in the last, maybe even 8 ovens in the last 13 years that I've had to get used to how they heat, how they function. Sometimes ovens are just a little bit off. So that is how I make my roast vegetables, 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. I will check them. It also depends on how you cut them, how small or how big. But you can see here, I like to keep things bite-sized for kids' mouths so that my kids can have easy to eat food. And then for roasting vegetables, this is kind of your standard recipe. You can do this for all kinds of root vegetables. You can do it for your cruciferous vegetables, your broccolis, cauliflowers, your Brussels sprouts. You've seen on this channel, I have shared with you roasted Brussels sprouts. It's one of my favorite things. Okay, so I've got these chicken tenders right here. I get the bags of chicken tenders from Costco, and we're gonna cook up 2 batches of chicken tenders for my large family. We also have a guest staying with us, so I've got to accommodate for him as well. So these are lemon pepper chicken tenders strips, and I just doused them in some olive oil and then added a little bit of salt, some lemon pepper seasoning that I got from the store. And you can of course make your own lemon pepper seasoning from scratch at home. It's really sort of simple to make. I just haven't dove into that realm yet. So we are going to get all of this put onto our sheet pan, and I butt them up close together. And for this chicken, these chicken tenders cook at 375 for about 20 minutes. That should make them perfect. For me, that works every single time. So again, you may need to adjust more or less time. You just want to make sure that your cook temp in the center of the chicken is cooked through to the correct temperature. Okay, next we are going to also meal prep up some meat. I am on a roll, so we are going to meal prep up these elk steaks that we had, and I have some packets of chorizo seasoning spice blend in my cabinet that I've had for well over a year. I bought them all on sale at Fred Meyer's, and I haven't figured out how to use them yet. So we're going to coat these elk round steaks. You can use whatever kind of steak or roast or chuck roast or whatever kind of meat you have. We use steaks because when we get our elks processed, sometimes a lot of steak comes back. We request a certain amount, a certain amount of burger that we want, and then they just steak up the rest of it so that we can use it for roasts or whatever. I actually do get them to save a larger roast from the elk so that I can attempt to make an elk roast. I haven't gotten very good at that yet. So the steaks work great because the meat is very tender, it's very lean, so I'm adding lard and butter to these steaks in my Instant Pot. That's going to help give them some fat for cooking. And then I'm going to just add a little tiny bit of water so that nothing sticks to the bottom. So about a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 cup of water needs to be in your Instant Pot if you are going to be pressure cooking or slow cooking. So I'm going to slow cook these for 4 hours, then it's going to go down to low and just simmer until I can feed my family, or until I'm ready to feed my family. So this can go on tacos, on rice. You can use it in other dishes, but it's really delicious, and I'll show you the final product in just a minute. Okay, so I under roasted these. These are cooked all the way through, but they're not quite browned. These are great to go into the air fryer when reheated. And the same thing with the chicken. Well, not the same thing. I made sure I was very careful not to overcook it, just so anybody who wants to reheat their chicken can. So you don't want it to be too dry. 20 minutes at 375 cooks chicken tenders perfectly. It just depends on the size of your chicken tender. These are pretty standard, so that is a perfect amount of time for me. So I'm putting them in this container that I can take all the air out of, and it can preserve it for even longer. But I love these storage containers. I'll leave a link down below for these glass storage containers. In my brain, I'm having a mom brain moment where I'm totally blanking. Vacuum sealed, that's what it's called, you all. Vacuum sealed glass containers. So these help preserve the food a lot longer. I'm also going to throw the potatoes in here, and I also roasted up a whole bunch of carrots, and I did the carrots with some rosemary, thyme, olive oil, and salt. That really complements the flavor of roasted carrots, and I just let them sit and kind of marinate in that for a few minutes, because as you know, rosemary and thyme, they are kind of stick-like seasonings or herbs when they are dried. So I just wanted the olive oil to kind of moisten those, or make those a little bit softer on my carrots. And then we're going to roast these in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. We'll check them, and when they're fork tender, we will take them out, cool them completely, and then we are going to throw those into our Zwilling vacuum sealed containers. And then we've got all of our food meal prepped for dinner for the next 2 nights, or for lunch, or for whenever my family feels like eating. This food is going to be prepped, so it's early in the morning. You know, we've had breakfast. I say early in the morning, but the way the sun's coming through the windows, it's just beautiful and glorious. And this might become one of my new routines. I often try to get dinner prepared early in the day, but I really enjoy just having the food ready, and then I can have my evenings off to be with my family. That's really important to me. So I told you how I season these up. And since my oven is currently full at the time that I am making these carrots, I know, video editing at its finest. These are going to go into the air fryer. So I have a roasted vegetable setting on my air fryer. It air fries these at around 350 degrees, and then I select 15 minutes. That cooks them perfectly. Voila. Just reheat them in the air fryer again, and you've got your delicious side. This wouldn't be a delicious meal prep video without some kind of sweetness at the end, so I'm going to try to include that from now on for you all. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a sweet treat that you can have for breakfast. You know, there's no guilt with this recipe. It's protein packed. It's delicious. Stay tuned because it's coming right up. You can see I've been busy using the freeze dryer. I've got some celery on the trays right there, but I need some sugar to make this next recipe. So I'm tapping into this bag of cane sugar. I've got to order a larger bag from Azure Standard, but this is what we have right now to stand in the middle. And we're gonna get this yummy recipe started. We are going to be making today some, I'm going to call them monkey muffins because they are banana chocolate muffins. They have protein in them. They are gluten-free. So these are going to be gluten-free banana chocolate muffins, and they are delicious. So I'm just making some brown sugar right now. I went ahead and added the sugar to my bowl along with my butter, and we're going to get all of this creamed up together. We're also going to add some vanilla. So I am doubling this recipe. I'm going to go ahead and give you the doubled recipe ingredients. We had 8 tablespoons of softened butter, 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of blackstrap molasses, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We're going to cream these ingredients together. I am mixing it by hand, but you can use it or use a mixer. I have 2 cups here of mashed bananas, give or take a little. Don't be too strict on that. If you only have 3 bananas, use those. If you have 5 that need to be used, throw those 5 bananas in there. But around about 2 cups of bananas, give or take. And then we're going to add in 4 eggs. This is going to pump up this recipe with some protein. And we're also going to add some additional mix-ins to really make these strong protein muffins to keep my kids filled up the next couple of days. And while on this camping trip, we want to keep their bellies full. So we are going to cram as much into these muffins as we can. And don't be afraid to do that. You know, it's okay to add more, but you know, there's a happy medium. Don't go overboard. We're going to be adding some protein powder to this mixture. We're also going to be adding some whole hemp seeds. So right there you see I started out with my 1-to-1 flour. I put about 1/2 cup in there, and then I said, oh, I want to add my whole hemp seeds first. So I'm doing 1/2 cup of whole hemp seeds in there, and then we're going to add 2 more cups of my gluten-free 1-to-1 flour. Then we're going to add about a full teaspoon of Redmond's real salt. I always leave you guys a link down below to the best salt in the whole entire world, mined here in the great USA, and you get 15% off when you use my code. All right, I'm going in there with, let's see, 1/2 cup of protein, and I'm sitting there, I'm thinking on it, am I going to do more? Am I going to do more? Yes, I am. I'm doing a full cup of protein powder. That's really going to amp up these muffins so that my kids stay full at least until snack time, lunchtime, whatever. They can also eat these as a snack. So I've taken some coconut oil and I've greased the inside of my muffin tin pan. I still don't have any muffin paper liners for my pans. I ran out of them a long time ago, and I just haven't been bothered to get them again since. So once all of these ingredients are mixed up, we are going to put them in our muffin tin, and then we're going to bake these for about 25 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit in a preheated oven. When they're done, you take them out, you put them on a wire rack, let them cool completely, and I'm going to show you what I do with them. I stick them in a Ziploc bag. I use a straw and suck all the air out of the bag without squishing the muffins, and then I place them in the freezer, and this ensures that they don't get any kind of condensation, icicles inside the bag, making your muffins wet when you thaw them out. So make sure you do that with your muffins too when you freeze them, and these freeze beautifully. All of the baked goods that I share on this channel, and I double, triple, quadruple batch bake them, I freeze them all because it makes for simple snacks, easy meals, whatever, on the go things that I have in my freezer. All I have to do is take them out and they thaw out within a few minutes. Cookies, muffins, banana breads, zucchini breads, all the delicious things. Go ahead and double batch bake it for yourself and stick them in the freezer so you can have an easy day later on. That's why we meal prep. That's why we double cook everything. You would be surprised at how many foods freeze really well and thaw beautifully, like, and recook, reheat so delicious. So give yourself that gift and double prep your meals, double prep your food. It's not just for people that have large families like me. It's for those of you that are busy moms, busy working women out there, and you just want some nourishing food. You can meal prep all this stuff on a Sunday, and then your week is set. Make yourself a big batch of muffins for breakfast. Make yourself a big batch of the dinner that I cooked, and you are set. You're set for the week. You've got all of your food. You can even throw the dinner in little Tupperware containers and pop those in the freezer in individual servings, so that all you have to do is take out the container. It's thawed by lunch. You reheat it or you eat it cold, whatever. It's a game changer when you can meal prep and give yourself the gift of time in the future, time that you don't have to spend preparing yourself or your family something to eat. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Yes, I forgot to add the chocolate chips. How dare I? How could I even? How could I forget the chocolate chips? But I did. So we're adding those in now. You can add nuts, chocolate chips, marshmallows, whatever you fancy, whatever you want in your food, in your muffins, any additions that you like. Chopped nuts work great. Chopped walnuts, I do those a lot of times. Kids love it. And it packs in the nutrition. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. I'm going to leave you with the end of this video. Enjoy this music, and I will see you in the next meal prep video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.